So every time I talk about healthcare, I get slammed. I mean, and it's always the same. It's that same tone of voice. Why do you compromise? Why don't you fight? Why are you giving in and all this stuff? And to me, it's all about realism and politics. It's all about what's really happening and how and whether or not you're being played. Because think about this for a minute. If you listen to an anti-Trumper, he's going to tell you that Trump's to blame for the failure of the Republican health care bill. If you listen to a conservative, he's going to tell you the moderates, they lied to you all that time that they said they were going to repeal it. They weren't really going to repeal it. And of course, if you listen to a moderate, they tell you that the conservatives are to blame for not compromising. In order to win a fight, let me put it to you this way. Let me put it to you in terms of my experience in life, all right? I've written novels. That's mostly what I've done most of my life. But I've also written a lot of screenplays. And for a period of time before my politics became known, I was actually quite a successful screenwriter in the sense that I sold a lot of my screenplays, although not a lot of them got made into films. But that's how a lot of screenwriters make a living, is just selling screenplays. There are many differences between writing books and between writing screenplays, but that's not the point. The point is, when you write a novel, you are basically in complete control of what goes into that book. I've never had a really bad editor or just an editor who tried to insist that something go into the book. When an editor makes a suggestion, you have the right to pull the book and take it somewhere else if you don't like it. You have the right to just say, no, it's my name that goes on the book. Basically, the editor is going to let you put into that book what you want. So you can negotiate, you can talk, you can argue, you can do whatever you want. And most editors, like I said, are really great. Almost all my editors have been really helpful and good. And I'm happy to take suggestions that make the book better. But I have the power. I have the power. And so I deal with that situation in a certain way. When you write a screenplay, you have zero power. You have no power whatsoever. So if you're trying to keep your screenplay that's going to have your name on it from becoming a piece of garbage, you really have to fight in a totally different way, because they can fire you off your own project, okay? And a lot of people don't know this. I write a screenplay, Batman's Revenge, and I send the screenplay in, and they love it, and they say it's great, and they hire a director, and the director says, I want to make Batman female, and I go, that's ridiculous. They can fire me and keep my name on the screenplay, and I can pull it off the screenplay, but I lose all the money that I would get from making the movie. So you're in this situation where you have zero power and can be fired at any minute, and anybody can change your script and any way they want, especially the director. You have to fight in a different way. You have to make friends. You have to get us allies. You have to compromise. You have to know when you can't win and give in. You have to be ready to quit. You have to be ready to resign. I've resigned from several films because I felt they were turning it into garbage, and I didn't want to be the guy who did that job. I didn't want to be the guy who made the script worse. You just have to fight in a different way. And my point about entitlements is that those of us who feel that entitlements sap our freedom, and we want there to be as few entitlements as are necessary to take care of only the poorest of the poor, and everybody else should be given a hand up by their communities and by their churches and by the people, and that's how you stay free. We are in a tiny minority. We are not the Republican Party. We are the tail on the dog. That is it, and we can try as hard as we would like to wag that dog, but we can't do it. And